Alright, after you get the cigar, what happens next? We pulled back in the apartment complex and wait. We waited for, about 5-10 minutes. It wasn't that long. A white Malibu pulled up. Alright, what gun do you have at this point? I switched the handgun to the assault rifle. Okay, and who did you switch with? Do you remember? I think I switched with T-Red. No, I switched with McCoy because he was in the front. Okay, and what did McCoy have? He had the rifle at first. Okay, do you remember who was driving? T-Bone was driving. Okay, and who else was in the back seat with you? It was me, Gregory, Stewart, and T-Red. Did T-Red and Rabbit have guns? Yes. Alright. Do you know what kind of guns they had? T-Red had a rifle and Stewart had a handgun. Alright. And you said you saw a Malibu? Yes. Alright. What happened next? Me and McCoy jumped out. He shot first and I shot behind him. Alright. Where did McCoy shoot in the car? I don't know if he landed or not. Alright. Were you aiming for a particular part of the car? No, sir. Okay. How many times did you shoot? We both fired one shot, and then the car sped past us and ran into a gate. Alright. What did you do when it hit the gate? When it hit the gate, I was unjamming my gun because it had been jammed up, and T-Red and Rabbit was shooting already. And what did you do? Once I unjammed my gun, I went toward the car and started shooting. Alright. What part of the car were you shooting from? I was at the back, the passenger side. The back of the passenger side. How many times did you shoot? Probably about from 13 to 15 times. Okay. Where was McCoy Walker? McCoy Walker and Gregory Stewart was in the front of the car. And where was T-Red? T-Red was on the side of me. Where was T-Bone while this was going on? Sitting in the car. How long did you all keep shooting? It lasted about 2 to 3 minutes, I think. What did you do after you were done shooting? We jumped in the car and pulled off. Alright. How many people did you see in the car? 2. Okay. Did you know they were dead? When we pulled off, yes. How did you know they were dead? Because we shot a lot of times. Okay. When you all got back in the car, what did you all do? Jumped in the car. We pulled out of the apartment and headed toward the 9th Ward. And where in the 9th Ward did you all go? By Breezy house. And what did you do with the car? We pulled it in the back of an apartment complex, pulled it in the back, and jumped out. What did you do with the guns? We gave them to Gregory and he stashed them. Where did you all go after he stashed the guns? We hopped the gate and went by Brother. Did you see Darryl Franklin out there? Yes, he was out there. Did you tell him what happened? Yes. Alright. On the ride back, did you know who had been with Man? No. Did anyone speculate about who had been with Man? McCoy said it was Renetta, but me and T-Red was saying it wasn't. Alright. Why didn't you think it was? Why? I don't know. I just thought, I didn't know they was dealing. I didn't know it was a female. I never knew it was a female in the car. Did you know Magnolia Shorty? Yes. Alright. How did you know her? I went to school with her. Were you friends with her? Yeah, she was cool. When did you learn you had just killed Magnolia Shorty? Later on that day. That night. What did you tell McCoy when you found out it was Magnolia Shorty? I told him not to say anything. Alright. Would you recognize photos from that scene if I showed it to you? Yes. Okay. I'm going to publish Exhibit 180. Is this the car you were shooting? Yes. And you were standing behind it? Yes. How close to the car did you get? I wasn't that close up on it. All right. Does this look like the apartment complex? Correct. All right. Do you know where Rabbit and McCoy Walker were standing? I wasn't watching them. They was in the front. Okay. And what type of gun were you shooting that day? An assault rifle. Do you know what type of bullets it shot? No, sir. Do you know whose gun it was? No, sir. Did you all share guns? Yes, sir. Okay. Well, explain to the jury how that would work. I mean, whoever needed a gun, we would swap it out, loan it to them. They could come and get it, or we could go and get their guns or whatever. All right. And where were you living at this time? I was living in Avondale. Did your family still have a home near 2nd and Galvez? Sir? Did you and your family still have a home near? Yes. Would you ever hang out there? On 2nd? Yeah, my family stayed on 2nd and Muro. Did you have a friend named G-Baby? Yes. All right. What happened to G-Baby? He got killed. When did you find out G-Baby had been killed? Later on that night he was killed. What did you do when you found out G-Baby was dead? I was in Baton Rouge. I had just made it to Baton Rouge when I found out he got killed. So what did you do? I didn't come back down until the next morning. And when you got back, were people upset? Yes. Were you upset? Yes. Did there ever come a time where 39ers went and shot in the Calliope? Yes. Were you out there the day they went into the Calliope and shot? Yes. All right. Who was out there and where were you? We was in front of my grandma's house. Wash had pulled up and they had a few guys sitting out in front of my grandmother's house. I think it was Rabbit jumped in the car and Nelly. Rabbit jumped in the car. Miguel jumped in the car and Nelly was about to get in the car. And I told Wash to let AD go instead of Nelly. Why did you say that? Because AD wanted to go. So I just told him to go instead of Nelly. What was wrong with Nelly? Nothing was wrong with him. And what guns were they taking? 2 assault rifles and a 9 Taurus or Beretta. Okay. And where did the 9mm come from? I gave the 9mm to Miguel. Okay. And who was Miguel? Money. All right. And who was Money related to? G-Baby. Okay. And tell me about the 9 you gave him. Was it a good gun? Sir? Was it a good gun? No. What was wrong with it? It had tape on the clip. All right. Did you watch them all leave? Yes. All right. What happened next? Once they pulled off, it was over with. I didn't see them no more. Okay. Did you hear anything? Later on that day, AD come in the house line talking about how he killed the dude. AD said that? Yeah. All right. How did you know he was lying? Because Rabbit came in right behind him, like about a few hours behind him and said the opposite. Okay. And Rabbit said what? Rabbit said that he killed him. Okay. Were they specific about how they killed him? Yeah. Both of them said it the same exact way. But when Rabbit started saying it, AD didn't deny it. So, you know. Did you think AD was taking credit for what Rabbit had done? Yes. All right. Did you ever see Money after that? No, I didn't see Money. Would you recognize the gun that wasn't very good if I showed it to you? Yes. I'm going to show you what's been admitted as Exhibit 224. Yes. All right. And how do you recognize that? Because of the clip. And what about the clip particularly? I had taped it up. All right. Why did you put tape on the magazine? So it wouldn't slip out the gun. All right. And where had you gotten this gun? From Baton Rouge. Just to be clear, AD never denied participating in that shooting. He was just trying to take credit for standing over the guy killing him? Yes. Okay. Do you remember being arrested with a .40 caliber Glock? Yes. All right. Do you remember how that happened? I was at the gas station. All right. Would you recognize a surveillance video of that event if I showed it to you? Yes. And Rico, did people in your group give nicknames to their guns? Yes. I've come to find out. Yes. Okay. But did you ever say things like that? Did you ever say the words Barack or Michelle? No, sir. Is this 183? Yes, Your Honor. And who were you with this night? Me and T-Bone. Okay. Do you know whose car this is? Yes, that's T-Red. All right. And what kind of car did T-Red have? That's an Infiniti. What kind of car did you have at this time? An Infiniti. What color was your Infiniti? Black. How did you pay for that car? How did you make money to buy an Infiniti? Selling dope. Do you know who this is? Yeah, that's T-Red. All right. Do you know who was with T-Red that night? Yeah, that's Lonnie. All right. Is this your car? Yes. Who else was with you all that night? A few guys from off 3rd and Galvez and out the 9th Ward. And who was with you from the 9th Ward? Leroy. What had you all been doing that night? Just riding around. Why did you have a gun with you? Earlier that day, we was at the car wash and somebody who I was with thought they seen somebody from out Calliope, so I went and got it. Who was driving your car? T-Bone. All right. Is that T-Bone? Yes. Do you know who this is? Yeah, that's Leroy. What did you do when you saw the police outside? I was about to go walk towards him to see what was going on, and he told me to step back. He told me to go go back in the store. But I was trying to explain to him and let him know that was my car. Is that Leroy there or somebody else? Sir? Is that Leroy? Yes. All right. And what happened now? I'm getting a registration for him. Did you know you had a gun in the car? Yes. What were your plans for that? Grab it and run. Did you know that gun had been used in any crimes? No, sir. Where had you gotten that gun? Across the street from my grandmother's house. And what happened here? He took off behind me and opened fire. He shot at me. Did you point your gun at him? No, sir. Is that you running? Yes. What did you do with the gun? I threw it. All right. And were you able to get away from the police that night? Sir? Were you able to get away from the police? Yes, sir. Were you eventually arrested that night? Yes, sir. If I showed you the gun, could you tell me if it looked like the gun you had that night? Yes. I don't expect you to remember the serial number. I know it's short. I know it's small. Could I see Exhibit 253? Again, I don't expect you to memorize the serial number. That's it. But does that look like the gun you had? Yeah. What exhibit number is that? That is 253, Your Honor. All right. Do you know guys from the Calliope name Lester and Maul? Yes. Yes. All right. And what was their reputation? Maul was kind of young. I didn't really know too much of Maul, but Lester had come up under Man. Did Mccoy Walker ever tell you about catching Lester? Yeah. One time I came from Baton Rouge. We was in a park and they had some shirts on. And what did the shirts have on it? Judge, I object. There's no predicate to show this was during and in furtherance. Objection sustained. Lay a foundation. Would you all tell each other about crimes you committed? Yes. Would you tell each other especially about things with the Calliope? Yes. Why would you all tell each other that? Just so we could be aware of what's going on. Did McCoy Walker tell you about a shooting he had committed on the Calliope? Yes. All right. Tell the jury about that. With Lester? Yep. I mean, he didn't get into no detail about it. All right. What did he tell you? He just told me that they caught up with him. And did he say, what does that mean, caught up with him? The witness already said he didn't give him no detail. Okay. Ask specific questions. What did caught up with him mean? He smashed him. Killed him. All right. You have some prior convictions, correct? Correct. In 2002, you were convicted of distribution of marijuana and possession of cocaine? Yes. Okay. In 2006, you pled guilty to a weapons charge in Texas? Yes. In 2012, you pled guilty to attempted possession of a firearm by a felon. And that was the video we just saw where you threw down the gun? Yes. Okay. And you got an 8-year sentence for that? Yes. And in 2013, you pled guilty to possession of cocaine and in Pt4 parish? Yes. And then obviously in the state 3G trial, you pled guilty to racketeering charges, heroin charges, and cocaine charges? Yes. All right. And then in this case, you pled guilty to the racketeering conspiracy and the murders of Magnolia Shorty and Jerome Hampton, correct? Correct. All right. When you were on the street, did you take Lortabs? Every now and then. What is Lortab? Pain pills. Did you ever sip codeine or lean? Yes. All right. And what is lean? A drink. Well, something similar to Robitussin. Why did you plead guilty in this case? Because I was guilty. All right. You participated in the murder of Magnolia Shorty and Jerome Hampton? Yes. 1 second. All right. Thank you. Please answer defense counsel's questions.